My fellow Calgarians, good afternoon. Good afternoon, YouTube. I just wanted to bring to your attention something of great importance, actually. I'll let CTV explain, pardon me, Global News explain, and then I'll just give my comment in a moment. Thank you for watching.
That's how long some people in the southeast have gone without water in their homes. It's all because of a water main break, and they are not alone. Hundreds in our city are dealing with the same thing. Our Michael King is live right now in Midnapore. And Michael, days without showers, this is not easy on people right now.
Yeah, Scott, 71 homes here in Midnapore have been without water for 5 days, and the people here feel like crews working on the project aren't any closer to a solution. The city workers have dug up a sizable piece of road looking for the leak. In the meantime, homeowners have been hauling water for day-to-day uses. The city has provided vouchers so people can shower at city-run pools, but washing dishes or doing laundry is causing problems. While some people understand that water main breaks do happen, the length of time crews have been out here without a solution is bothering them.
It took them 2 days to dig the hole out. They turned the water on, found that it wasn't leaking there, so they filled it all back in again. Now they're going to dig a different hole.
I assume it started to leak over there, and they've moved the little toothpick over, and they'll start hacking away at it for another 3 days.
So, if you're viewing this, I want to send my my deep sympathy to you. I want to mention that in a city that is supposed to have a little bit modern technology in this age, for people to be harvesting water from a trailer, a container of water from the back of a trailer, that is absolutely unacceptable. The fact that the city deals with it in the massive incompetent manner that they always do, cutting here, cutting there, the street, not knowing how to solve the issue, guessing, usually, is the typical competency we can expect from city workers and the city of Calgary. This matter is an extremely, I would say, inconvenience to the residents of these homes. If you can imagine it, they cannot have a bath unless they go to a public pool, or maybe the YMCA or something like that. They cannot wash their dishes or do basic function like that within the household, and they're forced to haul water like this gentleman is to their homes in small barrels. So this is pathetic. I look at this, I blame the mayor. Number one is, what they're sending is not competent. They should have people working around the clock to get these things back online, to get them back working again, so that residents can at least enjoy some semblance of basic human dignity. You talk about your water main breaks, you don't have access to clean water. I don't know if their toilets are still working. I don't know if what these residents are doing to bathe, to prepare, because nobody thinks about how important fresh water is until they lose it. So I went looking in Wildwood today to try to find and identify trailers that look somewhat like the ones shown in this video. Here the gentleman stands in front of one. There it is. And I only can say that Nenshi is to blame. When you look at some of the extreme projects that he builds, that he wastes money on, but he can't maintain even basic infrastructure like snow removal, or like this. Water supply, water mains breaking. The City of Calgary employees are guessing where the break is. They should know right away, and they should dig it up, and they should fix it within a day. You have the infrastructure we have the infrastructure in place to make that happen, but they don't. They're guessing. So All I can say is that the city responds with a typical incompetence that we're used to now, but should never happen in the first place. And like common people like this gentleman suffer just to get basic needs met. It's an absolute pathetic situation that the city themselves created. This just proves again my point that the management is absolutely terrible, that the money is going in the wrong place. There are basic needs that need to be met in the city, and it's just not there. And the mayor is nowhere to be found. He couldn't be farther removed from his own people that he's supposed to be responsible for, to look after, and to maintain their well-being. This is terrible. This should never have happened. And even though it did happen, it should have been promptly repaired so that these people could actually get on with their lives and not worry. You see, this gentleman, he is like me. We are exasperated with how the city runs things. It's absolutely a joke. You talk about basic human dignity, they can't even perform nicely to make it happen. Listen to this gentleman one more time. I empathize with him.
It took them 2 days to dig the hole out. They turned the water on, found that it wasn't leaking there, so they filled it all back in again. Now they're going to dig a different hole.
I assume it started to leak over there, and they've moved the little toothpick over, and they'll start hacking away at it for another 3 days.
There you go. And a lot of these city workers, they will not be working the job, pardon me, they will not be working the job all hours. They will be working on and off again and standing around and talking like you see here. It's very commonplace to see city workers talking on the job, reclining on the job kind of thing. They're not really into it, and it's make work. You understand? It's like they make more hours so they can get more pay kind of idea. I don't put down those city workers that work hard, but I empirically observed many times that the city workers are just, nobody's working. Or if there are people on the job, there are one person or two person on task, and the rest of them are watching, i.e., International Avenue, 17th Avenue Southeast, while it was being torn apart and rebuilt over several years. That kind of incompetency, I mean. So I feel very much, and I felt that I should make a video about this because I want to look at more examples about homes losing their access to water because the water mains are breaking. You've seen there that they have a nice diamond blade saw that they use to cut up the street. It'll cut up concrete like butter. You can find the source of the problem very quickly if you use a machine like that, or rather you can get access to the mains very quickly if you use a machine like that. But essentially, the residents are really exasperated. They're very exasperated. They're so tired of this. In the middle of winter, nothing could be worse for those people to experience at this time, with the cold being as bad and as deadly as it is. And then basic human needs like fresh water, bathing water, toiletry, I don't know, probably the same. Yeah, they like basic needs, and they can't even do anything. It's like the residents are helpless. And where is the mayor? Where are the people who's supposed to be responsible to look after the citizens of Calgary? They're non-existent. What are they doing actually to help the city to manage and mitigate this problem? I look at it, I say incompetence for a modern city like Calgary, that should never happen. And if it does happen, it should be quickly remedied. It should be rectified immediately or within a day. It cannot be delayed so many days. I think already these people are waiting a week or maybe longer than that already. I don't even know if the mains are reactive now. So it makes me sick. These people pay taxes. They pay for the privilege to have modern infrastructure that functions when it's needed. And right now it's so far removed from it, the competency of the city employees and how common people suffer greatly. because there's nobody there.
Dishes or doing
This is the how they get their water. It is absolutely pathetic. The water should be much easier to access, but more importantly, they should have the mains repaired right away. It's promptly. They work as long as necessary to get it active again. Any council that cares about their city, that cares about their citizens, they will make sure that happens. That'll be a priority one problem. And they'll ensure it'll be something like road safety even, like that kind of priority where the problem had to be worked on until it's done. And you don't accept anything less than that. And I see everywhere the residents, they know the problem is very severe, but they're helpless. They just throw up their hands, oh, what can we do? We can complain, but in the end, what can we do? And Nenshi is laughing at them. So I encourage you, my fellow Calgarians, reward that mayor for his incompetence in kind. Ensure that he didn't be elected again. Because it's not just political. His decisions had a lot of consequences for everyone, including this. This should never have happened, but it was. If it's not preventable, you can fix it immediately. You can devote resources to fixing this in a very speedily manner, a very prompt manner. Don't delay. Let it be repaired immediately, as quick as possible. 200 homes without water. It's pathetic. This is Canada. This is Calgary we talk about. A modern city. It cannot be. I look at it, it's such incompetence surrounding the city now since Nenshi was elected. There are so many issues I could discuss. Nothing is done right. I can't credit his administration with any competency. Nothing. There wasn't one good point. Look at it. It's terrible.
water for day-to-day uses. The city has provided vouchers so people can shower at city-run pools, but washing dishes or doing laundry is causing problems. While some people understand that water main breaks do happen, the length of time crews have been out here without a solution is bothering them.
It's terrible.
It took them 2 days to dig the hole out. They turned the water on, found that it wasn't leaking there, so they filled it all back in again. Now they're going to dig a different hole.
I assume it started to leak over there and they've moved the little toothpick over and they'll start hacking away at it for another 3 days.
I feel so bad because the extreme cold here has made it a terrible problem for those residents that own those homes. You never know how bad it is until you actually experience it. To be without fresh water, man, that's horrible. That's something that brings you back sort of to the Stone Ages, if you will. You know, it becomes so important. You're willing to walk around cold in the morning, you know, whatever, to get water. It's really terrible, and that scenario shouldn't even be possible in a city like Calgary. Like it's terrible, and I felt compelled to make this video because it's just, I couldn't believe it when I, not that it happened, but how the city responded to the problem. It just nonsense. Like, you couldn't see a more lack of caring, really. They don't care about the residents. They don't care about the inconvenience that it caused people. They only care that they have a job to do that day. Okay, so we'll talk and we'll cut here, and if it doesn't happen here, we'll look at another one. It's incompetence. So I apologize a little bit for my ranting, but this is, to me, a very severe problem, and it should be to the rest of Calgary as well. I felt very much that there is a complete understatement about this particular news, that it just appeared for a few seconds, and you have to be very careful and listen so that you can actually pick it up. But it is a terrible problem. And I can't stress it enough. A terrible issue. An issue that could be easily resolved with some competency and a team working steadfast to get it repaired. So, I thank you for your time and your attention. and I will be making subsequent videos about other areas that were affected by this. So thank you and good night.